I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick,
in association with our friends at
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank projects economic growth between 4 and 5% for 2025, while celebrating a strong EC dollar backed at over 98%. Governor Timothy Antoine delivered his annual Christmas message, highlighting both challenges and opportunities for the region.
The climate crisis remains a clear and present danger for our region. Indeed, the year 2024 is on pace to be the hottest year on record. That said, we are grateful that most of our countries were spared a major hurricane. But our thoughts, prayers, and practical support continue for the people of Grenada, especially Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially Union Island, Canoan, and Mairo. We are grateful that our EC dollar remains strong with a current backing of 98.3% and with growing reserves. The pace of economic activity has quickened, powered by tourism and some improvement in air connectivity. Inflation has fallen from its peak 2 years ago, but we know only too well that prices are sticking downwards.
Despite environmental challenges, Antoine reports positive economic indicators and confirms the bank's commitment to regional development.
We currently project growth in the ECCU between 4 and 5%. We also see and will pursue opportunities for more collaboration and faster collective action. Now more than ever, we must stand together and work together, both at home and abroad. And you can count on your central bank every step of the way. We will continue our advocacy for the big push challenge, predicated on the simple question, what will it take to double the size of our economies over the next decade? and personalized with the question, what will it take to double your net worth?
The governor outlined several initiatives for 2025, including enhanced financial protection and digital transformation.
Specifically, the ECCB will press ahead with our work for you on financial stability, establishment of a regional regulator for citizenship by investment, CBI or CIP, ease of opening of bank accounts, greening of the financial system, the full rollout of the credit bureau, financial investing for financial resilience through financial literacy, accompanied by new products such as mutual funds and retail bonds for small investors, more financial protection for customers, and data and digital transformation.
The ECCB serves as the central bank for 8 Caribbean territories. Solange Alfred, HDS News Force.
The central bank has noted the fourth quarter of 2024 was marked by accelerated momentum in the private sector. According to the bank's latest monetary policy announcement, this acceleration was noted in September 2024, with the growth in business loans outpacing consumer lending. The announcement notes this rise in credit to businesses was fairly broad-based across manufacturing, distribution, agriculture, construction, and finance areas, while the growth in consumer financing was concentrated on durables, notably automobiles. The report says relatively high domestic government financing helped to push up local treasury bill rates, combined with the policy rate cuts by the U.S. Fed in late 2024, resulting in a negative narrowing of the USTT interest differential on 3-month treasuries by 66 basis points to negative 233 basis points in November 2024. The report also notes while headline inflation remained very low at 0.5% in November, it was up from 0.2% in the previous month. Core inflation, which excludes food prices, was unchanged at minus 0.3%, while food inflation rose to 3.1% from 2.4% over the 2-month period. The committee decided to maintain the repo rate at its current level of 3.50% amid low inflation, buoyant credit conditions, ample liquidity, and a continued measured expansion of non-energy output, all which form key components of the domestic backdrop. MPC says, however, that close vigilance must remain as the developments could change rapidly. The next monetary policy announcement is scheduled for March 28, 2025. Greer Kwan has been announced as the new Chief Operating Officer of Guardian Holdings Limited. In a post to the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange, it was confirmed that Kwan will take up the post of Group Chief Operating Officer with effect from January 1st, 2025. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices.
In July of 2024, the government sought to bolster its crime-fighting thrust by adding another minister in the National Security Ministry to help take on the daunting task. The results? The country went on to record its highest murder toll ever.
I am not satisfied. I am not at all pleased.
Minister Keith Scotland, who has responsibility for the TTPS, put his hand up as he commented today on the record-high murder rate.
I think that I can do better. I will not give myself a failing grade, but I will not give myself a great passing grade either.
CNC3 News brought to the minister's attention this is the second consecutive year the TTPS has failed to hit its crime reduction targets. And the minister's advice to the police service was summed up in 2 words.
Work harder.
The minister refused to comment on the effectiveness of the police commissioner, saying that is the responsibility of the Police Service Commission. But he did have a response to criminologists who argued that there's no political will to genuinely tackle crime.
I rebuke it. I reject it wholeheartedly.
He did, however, accept that there needs to be some changes in the operations of the police service.
Areas of discipline of police officers, it really takes too long. You can be on a disciplinary charge in the police service and you can retire without the charge being dealt with. We need to be more speedy.
Minister Scotland said the country must not hit these homicide numbers in 2025, but he reiterated that the effort needs to go beyond the police and politicians.
We really need the help of the community in order to deal with it. And if they don't give me, if I don't receive the help and the support, I can only do so much.
Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
Chief Executive Officer at Foster and Inc. Cruise Services, Martin Inc. says Barbados stands ready to reap the benefits of a bright cruise industry. He tells CBC News a number of new ships will set sail between now and 2030, and the Caribbean is a major part of the industry's offerings.
So I would say, the future is a very bright future. And where we've come from in the last few years, it's exciting. I mean, as a company, we're continuing to invest in new attractions, in new vehicles. We just bought in 3 brand new buses from a brand out of China called Yutong.
Addressing the Caribbean Tourism Organization's holiday cocktail party on board the Royal Caribbean Icon of the Seas in Miami, Minister of Tourism Ian Goodenough stated that Barbados and other countries in the region are seeking to get ships sailing into their ports beyond the winter season. Mr. Ince says Minister Goodenogh's proposal has been a work in progress for many years.
The ships leave us and they go to the Mediterranean, they go to Alaska. But I think we get a couple of ships during the summer out of Puerto Rico. We get a couple of ships transiting. I do see smaller ships, smaller luxury ships, being where we can see ships year round, coming through the summer. But, a very small percentage of the global tourism industry actually cruises. And the cruise lines are bringing more and more ships. And I think we will see business in the summer coming up in the future.
And Mr. Ince notes that while stakeholders are constantly working to get new cruise ships coming to Barbados, the industry is mobile and changes are always occurring.
But I would say 2024 would be a better year than we had in 2019 as far as ships and passengers coming to Barbados.
Barbados will welcome 398 cruise calls this winter season, bringing close to 700,000 passengers to the Bridgetown port. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
The private sector organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, has weighed in on a recommendation by the Economic Program Oversight Committee, EPOC, to place a ceiling on the public sector wage bill. That ceiling would ensure the wage bill does not become a fiscal risk to Jamaica's economic program. At a recent press briefing, EPOC stated that by the end of this fiscal year, public sector wages are projected at $414.2 billion. That's roughly 13% of GDP and 45% of tax revenues. If the trend continues, EPOC stated the figure could become a fiscal risk, and so a cap is needed on the wage bill as a percentage of GDP. The issue was put to PSOJ President Metri Siaga.
Well, I understand what EPOC is saying. Again, it comes back to the fact that our economy is too small. Placing a cap on wage to GDP is, whilst it's a good matrix to have, and it's a good indicator, our economy needs to be bigger so that that number can be bigger. Because we need more police, we need more nurses, we need more teachers, we need more doctors. We need more people in those critical positions, and we need to pay them more. However, we need productivity from them,
To help grow the economy, the PSOJ says for 2025, it will be heavily focused on exports and high-value manufacturing.
We need large international companies to come to Jamaica to start doing their manufacturing here, and it needs to be higher value added. So we're going to need to employ people from overseas to bring them in to be able to transfer the knowledge to our Jamaicans, and from there start to export those products. And I'm talking about large manufacturing entities that are going to move the needle.
As part of the process, Mr. Siaga says Jamaica's labor laws should be updated.
We know that it's a hard political ask. We get that it is not easy to do, but we feel that somebody is going to have to take the bull by the horns and sit down, private sector, unions, and the government, and come together and have a real hard relook at our labor laws, because they are simply not up to date.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Monday, 30th December 2024, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. ECCB chief sets economic targets amid climate concerns. Details after this important message. Welcome back. A robust financial outlook coupled with environmental red flags marked the year-end assessment from the Eastern Caribbean's top banker. The region's monetary chief outlined ambitious plans while acknowledging mounting climate pressures on member states. Solange Alfred of the HTS News Force reports. Trinidad and Tobago Central Bank's monetary policy announcement notes growth in business loans in the fourth quarter of 2024. And Guardian Holdings Limited will have a new Chief Operating Officer, COO, in the new year. CNC3's Peter Christopher has more. With Trinidad and Tobago recording its highest ever murder toll, one of the ministers with the responsibility for national security is advising the police to work harder in 2025. However, Keith Scotland said he will be giving himself that same advice. He told CNC3's Akash Samaru he isn't even happy with his own performance. A key player in the local cruise sector is upbeat about the future of the industry in Barbados. This as Barbados is set to benefit from active cruising seasons in the near future. CBC's Anesta Henry has that report. The private sector organization of Jamaica, the PSOJ, weighs in on Economic Program Oversight Committee EPOC's recommendation to cap public sector wages and salaries. More in this TVJ news item.